All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing IFR knowledge test questions again. The video is going to be focused on navigation. Okay, so here we have an HSI. On your test, you're going to get like a big page of these with a bunch of them. For this question, because it says the GPS waypoint information displayed on HSI E, so I just zoomed in on E here so we can get a better kind of grasp of what's going on. Okay, so for these ones, the first thing I want you to do is look at this and go, okay, this is my airplane right here, right? What is my heading on this? What's my heading, right? So in our case right now, our heading's about 360. So we're heading north. Well, it's exactly 360. So we're heading north. Okay. Um, so if you're heading north, that's step one is look at your heading. And then step two is just check this flag. Okay. So this flag can be here or here, right? This is going to be a from flag because it's on the back side, right? If it's up here, it's two, but we're from. So because we got a from flag and we're north, we know that let's say the VOR was like right here. Um, we're traveling north, but we're on the this is the 360 radial or the 180 radial, I guess. But if it was two, but we're from, so it's the 19 or the 180 radial. So we're kind of up here somewhere, and we're to the north of this VOR, okay? Because we're flying north and it's from. So in order to be there, you can imagine like our airplane was like right here, right? This was our airplane. We'd be flying north, and the VOR would be behind us, right? And then see how this course is out to the left. Um, so So we got the deviation bar right here. The deviation bar is all the way deflected out here to the side. So that represents 10 degrees of deflection. So like in our little picture here, we're going to be 10 degrees deflected off of this course. So 10 degrees off. So maybe like right there or something, right? So what would that look like on our answer choices, okay? I know it's not perfect 10, but we'll call it 10 degrees. Well, our answers we're to the southwest. So we're actually, to the northeast of the thing. So it's not southwest. Um, and then the other one says we're west, which we're not on the west side of it, right? Because we know we're to the north of it. So really, you can just answer this question easy just with the heading and the to from indicator, and you would know north, so you'd know we're good. But if you want to look at the rest of it on the 190 bearing to the waypoint, so the key here that is like kind of sometimes hard to pick out is where it says to. So 190 bearing to the waypoint, right? So that means if we were going towards it, we'd be 190 bearing to. So that makes sense, right? So see where we're at. If we were going this way, it's a 190 degree bearing. Think about that, like 190 bearing. It's kind of the same heading. That's not terribly important for this one because you can just use north and figure it out. Cool. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, next one. So according to HSI position B, which position on figure 96 would the airplane correspond to? Okay, so position B. So like I said before, this is coming off of the big figure. I just zoomed it in, so we got just the one HSI to look at, okay? And then figure 96 is this guy down here. He's going to tell us, this one's going to tell us like which of these it belongs to, okay? So remember, you're not trying to answer all these. Make it easy on yourself, okay? Our answers are 11, 5 and 13, or 7 and 11, okay? So what are those? 11's here. 5 and 13, so 13's here, 5's here, and then C is 7 and 11. So 7 and 11's already on there. So we're trying to figure out pretty much of these four, like what's going on. Okay. So the first place to start is just like the last one. What's your heading? What's our heading right now? What's our heading of the airplane? Between 060 and 120, that's east. So that's 090 heading, right? So now we're on a 090 heading. Which of these airplanes are on a 090 heading down here? 13 and 5. Now you're going to want to select B in your test and move on because you just got the question right. It's literally that easy. Look at the heading. Now, sometimes it's confusing. That's why I said to look at these answers, right? Because there's multiple ones. Like 12 is also east, right? See, 12 is going east as well. So you don't really know, which one they're going to ask for unless you look at the actual answer key. Okay, so the answers. So I would remember to start there. Now that's super easy because 5 and 13 are heading east, and 7 and 11 are just straight up going the wrong way. You don't even have to worry about we got this over here, we got whatever. Doesn't matter. So just first things first, check your heading, and then check the available answers. All right, so this one's pretty easy. It's kind of the same thing. We got G here. We got G. We got figure 96 down here. Okay. Our answer choices are either 7 and 11 or 5 and 13 or just 7. Okay. So this one's kind of interesting. You kind of do the same thing we did in the last one, right? So which way are we heading? West? Well, which of these are heading west? You got runway 27 going that way, so we know 7's going west and 11's heading west, right? Who else is heading west? 4's heading west, like, fine. But we don't have to worry about 4 because 4 isn't one of our choices. So we know 13 and 5 are both not heading west, so they're out. And you're stuck between answers B and answers A. Well, 7 makes sense because, look, if we turn left, we got on the course, we'd head in on the course. 7, you turn left, you go on the course. Okay, good. And then 11, if you go left, you'd get on the course as well. And you might be saying, well, I would be going the wrong way. But that wouldn't matter. It would still show up just like this, okay, if you were in number 11. Number 11 would look exactly like this with the deviation bar deflected out to the left here. So the answer to this one is actually both 7 and 11, okay? Because 11 would look exactly the same just based on where the position is, as long as you have the 270 270 in there for the localizer. Okay, it's on the back course, but it's fine. You don't have the back course loaded in, so there's no like reverse sensing happening. You're not like turning right and getting on the course or anything like that because it's not reverse sense because you don't have 090 for the 27 localizer, right? And we know that this is the front course because it's got the marker beacons. So because you got the marker beacons, front course for 27, that's kind of what it would look like on both of these. You're deflected off to the left and you're flying west. So the answer is 7 and 11. Cool. All right, so we just did 3 of the HSI problems. If you need more help with the HSI, I have a whole video called HSI navigation on localizer. You can go to that. It'll answer some more of those in-depth navigation localizer questions. Okay. We're going to end with 2 of these kind of rapid fire ones. So we're going to do what angle of deflection from a VOR course center line is represented by a half scale deflection. So in order to answer this one, this is just a memorization question. You have to know full scale is 10 degrees. Okay. So if you have half scale deflection of the CDI, then it's going to be C, it's going to be 5 degrees. Cool. All right, when you're using a VOR for navigation, which of the following should be considered as station passage? So this one's good. This is just good to know as well, but it's going to be on your test. So the first movement of the CDI is the airplane enters the zone of confusion. So once the CDI starts moving a little bit as you get in the zone, that's definitely not the time to do it because, again, you're in that zone. So it doesn't really know what's going on yet. You got to kind of let it go by, okay? So the moment the 2 from indicator becomes blank, so no, because then you don't even know what's going on, it becomes blank. What you're really looking for is actually the first positive complete reversal of the 2 from indicator, okay? So once that 2 from indicator, it depends. Like, let's say you're flying here, you're flying towards this VOR, right? And you get into the kind of zone of confusion. That's A. Kind of no, not yet. You haven't passed it yet. Okay, you get on the other side. It's like the 2 from indicator's blank. Doesn't really know what's going on. Okay, but when you get to here, you used to have a 2 flag, but now you're going to have a from indicator, right? So it's completely reversed to a from. That means you're actually, past the VOR. You might be like right here or something. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Last 2 here. Which DME indication should you receive when you're directly over a vortex at 6,000 feet? AGL. All right. So what this question's asking is if the ground's right here and you kind of got like a VOR station right here, let's say. Now you're flying this direction, okay? You're flying over here, let's say, and then here you are over the VOR. You're at 6,000 feet, okay? So you're at 6,000 feet above the VOR. What's your GME read? Well, this one's pretty simple because DME reads slant range. So like, you were over here, it would give you a slant range of that, right? If you're over here, it gives you slant range that way. So when you're on top, it doesn't give you 0 because you're 0 distance. It gives you your altitude, right? So your altitude in this case is 6,000. 1 DME is 6,076 feet. Yeah, 6,076 feet. Because it's not. I know you're thinking, oh, it's 5,240 a mile. No, it's nautical miles. DME is nautical miles. So because of that, when you're above this, you're gonna always get these 1 because it's pretty. I mean, it's 70. You're off by 70 feet. But if you did 1.3 DME into nautical miles, obviously 1.3 nautical miles, and then you did feet out of that, it's that would be close to 8,000, so 7,898 feet. So some inches, but way more, right? So it's way closer, 70 feet off, or like 1,800 feet off, right? So obviously B is the answer. People get tripped up on this one because they think 1.3, because like 5,280, and you do it, and they forget that nautical miles, not regular miles, is DME, okay? And the slant range thing, like you might just write 0 if you forget about slant range. So don't forget about those things, and then remember to write B on the DME 6,000 question, okay? Right, the next one's just pure memory. I want you to know that a VOR DME that's co-located under frequency pairings and the VOR portion is inoperative. So that's the key for this question, right? The VOR portion is inoperative. The way that it's going to tell you that, it's going to repeat at an interval of every 30 seconds at 1350 hertz. Okay, 30 seconds. So that's how you know that the VOR portion is inoperative of the VOR DME. Okay, just a memory question. Nothing else you're going to know about that. All right. All right. So remember all the stuff we taught you today, or I taught you today, and best of luck on your test. Thank you so much for watching. See you.